Have I got anything in my teeth?
No, have I?
No, because we're on video now. We're doing our post-show video. We've had such a lovely time at the Cook Shack. We have maybe eaten a few bits and pieces, haven't we, Beth?
Yes, maybe eaten more than we've helped. But that's okay, because it's a learning process. And I think as the months go on, we're going to get better and better.
You're supposed to taste what you cook as you go along, aren't you, Georgie?
Do you know, quite honestly, I think that you've been the best help I've ever had at the Cook Shack. And yes, tasting, that's why you don't... My husband says I'm warm in the winter, shady in the summer. And you don't get to be warm in the winter, shady in the summer without tasting food.
I think it's important. One thing we haven't done during the course of the show today, because we've had lots of these videos online, we haven't actually seen the shack from the outside. So I think we should come on out and have a look so people can see where we have been, because this whole area, and listen, as if by magic, you can hear a tractor as well in the field. Georgie's been talking about all the local produce and all of the producers that are around. We've had eggs from nearby. We've had all sorts of stuff that she's picked up from nearby. And the tractor in the field going past. It's just a glorious, idyllic environment. Georgie, how long did it actually take you to build all of this up the way you have done?
So I started doing the courses in the cottage, and that all evolved from just making bread using the local laxi flour. Having been in the Caribbean for so long, we were so thrilled to come here and find this perfect flour that has no additives and preservatives. So I started making bread, no weevils in the flour, because that's used to be by the time it made it around Cuba. So I started making bread, and then people said, can you teach me how to make bread? And then almost on a weekly basis, I had people coming to me saying, please, can you teach me how to make bread? So it's like, okay, maybe there's something in this. So I did a bit of research, and there was only one other cookery school at the time, which is now closed. And so I built a website and then just started putting Thai course, Indian course, etc. And then they started filling up. I was surprised.
I love it. And you did start by actually sort of operating, I think, from your home, didn't you? But then built this Cook Shack separately.
Yeah. So then after 3 years, my husband said, now, darling, you are taking, I hope I'm allowed to say this, you're now taking the piss. And every Saturday I get kicked out of my own home and get thrown away, and I'm not allowed to put one piece of paper down. It's because it's all got to be pristine, and I have to remove myself from home every Saturday. So after 3 years, we decided that the business had to close or I needed to go somewhere else. So I looked at bride school, but really it's all about the destination, and this is a destination. And it's so perfect that I am 23 steps from my front door. So what we did was we took the garage down, we got planning permission, and we put this beautiful, sustainable cedar cladding with a tartar steel, and we built this. Local business built this, guy called Manning Maintenance, Carl Buck, who's a lifeboat guy too. And he's a bit of a foodie, and between us and David Miller, who was my architect, I think we've done pretty well.
I love the fact you said it's 23 steps from your front door. I bet you've counted that, haven't you?
Oh, hundreds of times.
So we've picked some parsley and chives from this little patch here. You're growing things. I can see a greenhouse. You're obviously growing things in the greenhouse.
Yeah,
what else are you growing?
So we've got artichokes, we've got lovely pink, small parsley. This is a herb garden with rosemary, mint.
I'll come around so I'm not blocking the camera here.
Okay, rosemary, mint, sage over there, more chives. And then we are going up here. I've got, potatoes are coming up.
Oh, there you go. You can see them.
Yep, I've put some more potatoes. We put rainbow chard in here because it's really good. I think to get children eating veggies, you've got to make it as fun as possible. So I put rainbow chard in so the stems are beautiful, different colours, and I think that's so important. And then we've got lovely horse manure here, and also a lot of cow manure, which is actually better than horse manure, from Aylan Dairy. So it all goes back to the ground. Isn't it wonderful?
I just love how passionate you are about local produce, not in just the physical food produce, but also everybody who's made this shack happen. It just shows such a love and care for the community.
Yeah, I'm a Biosphere partner, UNESCO Biosphere partner. We've also down towards, when I have the children's courses, we have them running outside. You cannot expect them to sit for 3 hours and cook.
Oh, there's our man on the tractor.
So we have made a lovely area going between the trees with a path that we have mown, and we call it the lane of least resistance, or the path of least resistance. And we've had Easter egg hunts there last week, etc. But so we think about the environment all the time. Yeah.
And I think a good place to wrap up, because it sort of ties into what we were doing last week, Beth, is if you remember last week we had Tanya Anderson giving you some ideas for how you could help your sweet pea plants grow. And you've planted some canes, haven't you? They're getting little tendrils wrapped around the canes.
Giving a little cane a cuddle. It's the most lovely thing I've ever seen. Carry on.
So it is working. And are these peas here?
So we have got here, I think these are the mange tout. Or these are peas. Maybe these are the peas. I grew them in the greenhouse first, and really you wouldn't normally put them out till the 1st of May. My father was an avid gardener. He taught me everything, but I think global warming, we are getting a little warmer now. So this is a south facing area. It's very warm. It's very sheltered. So we've done this lovely trellis, and this was from last year. Sue Gower Jackson made me this, but I've rejigged the string this year.
So there you go. So this could be what we start actually properly growing things, Beth. We could have something as beautiful as this.
The possibilities are endless. I have just had such a lovely, lovely afternoon here. Do check out the Facebook page if you would like to come up to the Cook Shack. There are loads of opportunities. I understand there is a pizza and barbecue course coming very soon.
That would be amazing.
It's just lovely.
And do listen back as well on demand, because obviously we're on video here on Facebook, but if you go back and listen to the show itself, all kinds of hints and tips in there, and you'll hear us making a quiche, which I think should just be about ready.
I think it should. So you come back here next month. I'll be waiting for you, and we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, Georgie, you're a superstar.
Thank you so much, girls, and Ben for coming up, and Andrew. It's been absolutely delightful having you here.